Snake with Nip Hustle. Big shout out to my SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
Jita. Gratitude is definitely the attitude. It sure is a blessing to be back in the black box as we blow us a session one more again like we always do about this time, my good peoples. Shout out to the Fair to Say podcast. I believe that's the name of the platform. I found one of their topics pretty interesting that they were discussing about black content creators. And I think they were really talking about locally, even though their title was in general. But it seemed like they was talking about our local sector. And I got to make an announcement, disclaimer, a shout out to the boy Brandon, man, because my first encounter of reacting to Brandon was when Rockstar called in the No Jumper and he was up there and I wasn't familiar with him. And I had complimented his speaking style and skills and his oration. And then later on, it's a shame that because when you are capable of taking all the slang and niggerish or niggerism out of your lingo, often in our culture, you can be mistaken for less than masculine. And I made the mistake of saying his speaking style favored that of Dejan Paul's, and I was curious that it may be because he was similar in orientation that it's to Dejan Paul, and I was trying to clarify that I didn't want nobody to get my compliment toward him mixed up, thinking that he was, but I've been educated on Brandon since then, and I don't want no smoke. I wasn't trying to smut him. I was just in real time noticing how well he speaks, and a lot of times, because in our sector, we don't have that type of vocabulary. A lot of times when someone does speak eloquently, it can come across as, unfortunately, less than masculine, but I wasn't trying to shit on dude. I do have a respect for the way he speaks publicly. However, I didn't know that he was the Bucci Bear that Tariq Nasheed. I've learned a lot. I remember hearing about the Bucci Bear, the cartoon. I fuck with Tariq Nasheed. You see him on the outro. That's neither here nor there. The Fair to Say podcast had a conversation about black content creating. And I tend to agree with a lot of what they said. So with no further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this reaction. Oh, my mama.
The black content creator space, we need a reality check because people feel like they cannot start a platform without some type of drama. And I get both sides of the coin. I get how the algorithm works. I get it pushes negativity further. I get you get more views with the negative content, the goofy stuff. You got the pop the balloon. Then the pop the balloon guy goes on the TV show, and he's fighting every week on the TV show, and that's the way to get the popularity. Then you got somebody over here that's doing meaningful, impactful content, and the algorithm's not even pushing it. So a lot of people who want to do that will lose hope and go, well, shit, if I do that, I'm not going to get no views. I'm not going to get monetized. I'm not going to get no money. Nobody going to pay me no attention. So I'm just going to go do what's working for everybody else.
I can definitely relate. On my mama, that's gospel. I have a desire to do more positive content, less trashy subjects and street and violence and drama. That's definitely my desire. I have very little interest to come online and discuss gangs or gangbanging activity whatsoever. Proof of this, shout out Alex Alonso, Street TV. It could have been 2017, 2018, when he first reached out to me to do the first interview on this platform. When he reached out to me and invited me to be on this platform's titled Street Gangs, I wasn't interested at that point in my life being on a platform entitled Street Gangs. I was headed in another trajectory, a whole other direction. And Alex said, damn, that's ironic. This was toward the end of the year, fourth quarter. He said at the top of the year, I plan to changing my platform to Street TV. And for the same reason, he was tired of being stuck with that gang name and everything that comes with it. Not that he's not an expert on that subject matter, but we are larger than just that. We know about more than just that. And being put in that box, it limits you. So I can recall him saying that, yeah, I'm going to be changing my title to Street TV. So we postponed our initial collaboration until his title was changed. However, as you all can see, as I've been on this journey doing this, street content seems to find me, or I find it. And no matter how much I try to avoid it, sometimes, look, I just did experiment yesterday. See, we only got a new formulated format. It's not a primarily live platform no more. We're going to get back doing some lives, but this is more economical and efficient for me. I'll explain later to do it this way. But anyway, I yesterday did, I believe, 5 videos, and I tried to keep them on obscure subject matters that had nothing to do with street, violence, or drama. And it take a dip in numbers, bro. And every now and then, I don't chase it, but I know when some type of bullshit come up that, okay, it's time to run it up real quick. Just even like the Rockstar situation. It performed well on my channel this week in comparison to the other side. I talked about Tank Davis taking the knee, blaming it on Greece. I talked about this new prison that they're talking about where you can serve a matter of decades in a matter of a sentence of decades in a matter of minutes. Those numbers don't do as well. You as an audience is not quite as interested in that subject matter. However, there is a larger audience. So I've committed myself to the sacrifice of sticking to what I like to talk about and not being drugged back so much into what y'all like to talk about, even if it's less people in the church. Can I get an amen? Amen.
Because everybody's afraid to start their own lane and make that crack the way we are.
I think the only people that start their own lane are the ones who really want to do it for real, though.
That's
Like a lot of people, they only follow suit or follow what everybody else is doing because this isn't something that they really want to do forever, or they'd have that 10-step plan, or they put in that 10,000 hours. So they're only doing it because they seen somebody they know do it and get off on doing it. And they're like, okay, let me just give it a try.
Or it might seem easy. They think you just get on there, like you say, and just go ahead.
Or like, whereas with us, it's like we had a purpose. We know we want to inspire minds. We want to, you know what I mean, grow in a real way in our own lane. And that's hard to create your own lane unless you know what I mean, you really want to do it for real. Then you don't really care about the naysayers. You don't care about, okay, I might not be getting the most views at this point, because in your mind, this is what you really want to do for real.
Oh, my mama. That's the key point he just made. You got to make up your mind, especially when you're used to a certain amount of motion dealing with the drama and the bullshit. You got to make up your mind, okay, the number's going to dip, but that's cool. It's refreshing. Clear that out. And then be able to be more open, more honest, more transparent about my actual thoughts, because I actually tremendously don't give a about 97.97% of the we have to discuss here in our sector. It's almost like going to a regular 9-to-5 job that you hate and only doing it because it pays the bill. So now we have all this freedom to come on this platform and have control over what we discuss, and we're going to let the views cause us to get distracted. I, for one, am committed to avoiding that as much as I possibly can. Salute to them, man. I like the points they making.
Real, whereas in these other people, they don't really know what they want to do. This is just what seems to be the next big thing. When we was over here talking about politics and conspiracies, people was still on the bullshit, the messy shit. So, and we knew from then that it would always pan out the way we wanted to, and it's going to continue to, where these people are just like, well, I'm just seeing this pop up now. Let me just jump on this boat and just see where it takes me. Niggas aren't, like you said, niggas aren't really making content with intention to do anything. They're just doing it because somebody else is doing it.
And you took a thought out of my head. I was just going to say, just imagine a ship at a dock and it does not have a destination. What do you think is eventually going to happen to that ship? It's never going to sail nowhere. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The captain of the ship has no direction, no way to go. He's just going to get caught up in the ocean, and you're going to drown in that motherfucker. So you need a destination or some type of goal or some type of something to work towards. And that's going to keep you going in the long run. Stick to the mission, whatever your mission is, and define that and be that.
Sounds like TMC pretty much summed up. The marathon continues. You don't look. If you want to build a wall, you don't think about building a wall. In the words of Neighborhood Nip, you lay a brick each day. And once you look up, before you know it, the wall will be built. Oh, my mama.
Yeah, basically, I'm gonna just go back to prioritize what's in your household. Us as the Black community, we kind of prioritize entertainment, clothes, shit that doesn't hold any type of substance. Really, at the end of the day, we teach our kids. We'll play the rap music all day long instead of having them sit down for about 20, 30 minutes to read a book. Just even something small like that. We'll let the kids be on screen time for hours at a time as long as they're not bothering us. We got to get back into creating realistic goals for our children, setting the tone with ourselves and leading by example. Again, it was times where I done seen kids be on the phone all day. You walk in the room, they don't even lift up just to speak and say hi. It's just like now at this point, if it's not entertainment, if we're not being that dopamine coming, it's like we don't care. They don't want to learn or anything like that. So the goofy shit, the dumb shit, that's what's attracting. Unfortunately, we're the only culture that really pushes it out there. Any other race can do it. They'll nip it in the bud like, hey, don't do that. Don't. You go to China, they're not doing it out there. They control the media. You can't be ignorant on the internet out there in China. Out here for us, that's the way to get out the hood. So we got to start creating our own narrative as Black people of doing better.
And what's crazy is learning new things should give you a dopamine hit. When I turn into platforms or I go down rabbit holes or I read a new book, learning new information sets off my dopamine receptors. The shit that y'all are entertained by shuts it down. I can't watch it. It irritates me.
You know what's funny about him saying that? I can remember as far back as being like a kid to where my daddy is like pitching me the ball and I'm clumsily, I think that's the word, clumsily. I'm being clumsy while I'm trying to swing, miss. And then he tell you, no, just hold it, do it like this and just choke up on the back. Now, don't, and then you hit it. And when you hit it, then you say, there you go, you got it. Once you realize you got it, that little embarrassing giggle, that dopamine rush, oh, I got it. Even as an adult, just recently, the process for me, a lot of time I wanted to take content from the phone, from the iPhone to the computer, and then put it into my OBS program and then present it to y'all. And it was so many steps because if you go to your phone gallery, bam, you try to push send, it'll give you a message saying too large. So now the process was you had to go create an iCloud link, then go make an email, copy and paste that link in there, email it to yourself, go to the computer, click on the link. A lot of times it's still processing. You got to wait for a big old download button. Then when that download button pops up, you got to download it, wait for it to download. Then you used to take it, import it into OBS with a whole slew of steps. I just realized since I got the new setup, bro, I could take the motherfucking video. I used to try to airdrop to my old computer and it was inoperable for some odd reason. But I could just airdrop to the computer in a matter of seconds. It's there. And now I can see it right there on my computer, take the mouse and just drag it in OBS. I'm talking about this is about 12 steps eliminated. And when I realized that, I got excited. It's dopamine. It's fun. Now, actual information, new information, just data doesn't necessarily trigger my dopamine. But being able to learn how to do something or manage something that I didn't understand previously does trigger my dopamine. I can relate to that. I'm glad he said that.
Turn it off. Like this I can't. It literally irks my soul. Yeah. So you have to reprogram your mind by what you're digesting every day because what you watch becomes your reality. I don't know if you know that. This is why certain people won't watch certain movies or read certain books or
doesn't resonate with them.
He said it in a philosophical way. The Bible says, by beholding, you become changed. So we used to sing a song, oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. There's a Father up above, and he's looking down in love. Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. Oh, Baba.
People don't even have TVs in their room.
They don't have TVs in their house.
Exactly.
Because what you're viewing becomes the thoughts that's scrambling around in your head, which becomes the reality you living in the real world. So if all you're viewing is bullshit, Take a look at your reality. I guarantee you 99.99999% out of 100 people who watch Baddies, Pop the Balloon, or any of that goofy
Love and
garbage
hip-hops, all
bullshit,
that.
I guarantee you their life is dog shit and they're not successful. Because they try to hide from the unsuccessful, terrible reality that they live in. So they're 9 times out of 10 alcoholics or drug addicts. And then they consume a bunch of bullshit to try to numb the feeling of them living nothing with no purpose.
So he just made the correlation damn near that the content that you consume is almost directly related to the type of food you consume, beverages that you consume regularly, and just the way you take care of yourself. Your physical keep is directly correlated to your mental and your spiritual keep. So the people that are mindful about what they take into their mental and their body for thought and that purpose usually are also mindful about what they take in.
Nigga Nip Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
It's the homie cook-up boss, goddammit, Cub Low. And y'all tuning in to the Wake and Bake Show with goddammit the homeboy Spider Low.
Here with SPI, the realest nigga in LA.
Spider this bitch!
My nigga Spider Low. Spider Low, nigga.
Spider Low.
It's Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low, that's my nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Shout out to SPI, that motherfucking nigga.
Spider Low, Wake and Bake. Better keep it Google, nigga.
Loke is in LA somewhere doing what he's doing.
In the words of Spider Loke on my mama's mama.
Spider Loke's gear. This is Bay Mac.
Neighborhood, C-Mac. Shout out my Loke, Spider Loke, huh? Neighborhood, on hood. It's a beautiful world. You fight me? Fight, crib.
Point blank, through no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done train my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.